6.2 liter V8 complemented with an electric motor. The electric motor alone is 160 horsepower and 125 pound-feet of torque. Add that up together, that's 655 horsepower with 595 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds, quarter mile time in 10.6 seconds, which makes this the quickest Corvette ever created by Chevy. This is what Dodge should have been creating. This is what they should have been manufacturing for 2024. But no, Chevy did it first. The Corvette E-RAY is what this is. This is the future, not an electric motor. This is what Dodge should have been creating and should have been producing, but they are not. They're going all the way to electric motor, which makes no sense whatsoever. Let's talk about it. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Knockout 360 here with another video, man. So you can tell I'm in a car that makes us a car blog. You already know how it's going down. When I come around, let's get into it. I've got car content, car shows, car reviews, car meets, anything and everything car related happens on this channel, man. So if you're into that, make sure that you stick around because you are in the right place. For everyone else, hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so that you know what's coming out and when it's coming out. So let's talk about it. 2024 Corvette E-RAY. First ever electrified / all-wheel drive Corvette, 655 horsepower, 595 pound-feet of torque, powered by a 6.2 liter LT2 V8 complemented with an electric motor. Let me say that again, complemented with an electric motor. A V8 complemented with an electric motor. 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds, quarter mile time in 10.5 seconds. The electric motor alone is going to give you 160 horsepower and 125 pound-feet of torque through the front wheels via the 1.9 kilowatt battery pack, which is located in the structural tunnel under the seats. So under the seats. 2024 E-RAY goes on sale this year, starting at a whopping $104,295. So it's not cheap by any means, but the engineering, it's what we need to talk about. Forget about the price. Nobody's talking about the price. Disregard the price. The price is irrelevant. We need to talk about a V8 with an electric motor, complementing an electric motor. That's what we need to talk about. That's the most important piece here, is the fact that somehow the engineers over at Chevy was able to put a big, powerful 600 plus V8 or 500 plus horsepower V8 under the hood of this Corvette. And not only that, but they were able to give you a 160 horsepower electric motor to complement it. So not only were they able to give you the V8 experience, so it's going to sound like a V8, it's going to perform like a V8. When you do those cold starts, you're going to get that V8 life, right? But you're also going to get the future as well. You're going to get that hybrid engine on top of it. Why the hell couldn't Dodge have done this? We went from the biggest powerful V8s ever created in the industry, stock from the manufacturer, to just killing it. And now our cars are going to be powered by, you know, whatever's in this phone right now, an A15 chip. You know what I'm saying? That's literally what's going to be powering the Dodge Charger in the future. And the more I look at it, the more it looks ugly. Because one thing that I can say about this Corvette, it still looks like a damn Corvette. It still looks like a C8. I'm going to put pictures up right now. It looks like a C8. They didn't have to change the interior. They didn't have to change the exterior. They didn't have to change the structural appearance of the car in order to upgrade it, you know, with the hybrid engine. This is still very much so a C8. It still looks like a C8 or a Corvette. I'm sorry. It still looks like a Corvette. And all they did was modernize the powertrain. They given you a hybrid engine with a V8 engine. Why couldn't Dodge do that? Why would you kill the This video is sponsored by CarLock. CarLock is a car security device that I stand by and recommend for some extra security and peace of mind if you own a Dodge Charger or Dodge Challenger. Check them out by clicking the link below in the description. Use code Knockout360 for an additional 10% off your Amazon purchase. And also use code Knockout360 for 14 extra free day trial. Let's get into the video. Most iconic V8 ever created. And just kill it. Like, you just killed it. You didn't even give us anything comparable to replace it with. You know what I'm saying? This is the car, the automobile, the muscle car, quote unquote, that Dodge should have been building. This is what everybody's going to be leaving Dodge for. One of my subscribers already told me that he's going to try to put a down payment on one of these when they open up. And I don't blame him. I asked him what about a Hellcat? And he was like, no, absolutely not. And I don't blame him. I mean, this car is all-wheel drive for one thing. 655 horsepower. So I know a lot of you guys looking at it like, well, it's not more than a Hellcat, but guys, it's probably 500 to 1,000 pounds lighter than a Hellcat. It's better aerodynamic, more aerodynamics than a Hellcat, because that thing is built to the ground and it's built like a knife, and it cuts through the air like a knife through warm butter. It's lighter, it's better built, and it's all-wheel drive. So there is no such thing as spinning. All 655 horsepower are going to be put to the wheels efficiently. Unlike a Hellcat where it's just going to spin, 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 and then hopefully at some point you'll get some traction. So needless to say, this will beat all Hellcats for the most part. I don't know about red eyes and jailbreaks, but I mean, most Hellcats will get beaten by this. Now, you may be able to run them down after a while, but getting this off the line, it's going to get you every time. 2.5 seconds, 0 to 60. The only thing better than that was the Demon, which was what, 2.2, 2.3? And that was on a perfectly prepped drag strip, on perfectly prepped tires or radials. I mean, it's got to be perfect in order for you to get those numbers. Whereas with this thing, you should be able to get 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds, damn near anywhere. I mean, they showed the commercial had this car on ice in all-wheel drive mode. It's got a ice snow mode. They had it all over, I mean, almost off-roading to some degree. They had it in the rain, off-roading. Well, in the rain doing what it does. It serves more purpose than just a fast car. It's a little bit of everything. This is truly the future right here. This is how it should have been done. This is what Dodge should have built, but they did not. You know, this is what Dodge should have built, but they did not. I don't understand why. Like, even if it was a situation where they were facing pressure from like the government, you know, DOT, Department of Transportation, maybe they were facing pressure from the fines and the levies and, you know, the fees and stuff that they had to pay for these big gas guzzling V8s. I get that. But you can still go hybrid, bro. You can still keep the V8 Hemi and then drop a hybrid situation on top of it. And then that's a slow transition from naturally aspirated V8s, hybrids. And then in the future, 5-10 years from now, that's when you go 100% electric. You don't drop the biggest Hemis ever known to man, the biggest V8s, naturally aspirated V8s, supercharged V8s. You don't drop that. And then the next step is completely electric. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like going cold turkey after you've been an addict for 20 years. You go cold turkey in 24 hours. It doesn't work that way. You work your way up to it. It slowly works this way. You weed yourself or wean yourself off of whatever you're doing. And then slowly but surely, your body doesn't want that anymore. And then slowly but surely, you don't want it. Right? I imagine Dodge is going to lose a lot of business after these cars are no longer being sold. And surprisingly, or to be expected, they're going to lose all of that business to Ford and Chevy, because we've already talked about what Ford's doing. Ford's not even interested in the hybrid situation. They're just going to give you a big V8, big naturally aspirated V8. They're not even interested in the hybrid thing at all. They're going to give you a dope Mustang with the new interior, new exterior. The interior looks like something out of a Mercedes. They're going to give you that. They're going to give you a bigger V8. Sounds better, performs better, more power. They're going to give you more trims. They added the Dark Horse. We're still waiting on the 350 or the 500. We have yet to see what that's going to look like. And to my understanding, even with the Chevy, we don't even know what the ZR1 is going to look like. See, I keep forgetting about Chevy. You guys have got the Stingray, the ZR1. You've got, what else? I know you guys have got some other trims I can't think off the top of my head. Now you got the E-RAY. You've got all these different trims, and we haven't even seen the final form. It's like watching Dragon Ball Z back in the day, and we're looking at, you know, Imperfect Cell like he's the best of the best. We haven't seen Perfect Cell yet. We haven't seen the final form. So we don't even know what Chevy's got under their sleeves as far as, you know, their most powerful Corvette known to man. Obviously, the Camaro is dead. You know, there's no need of even talking about that. But we don't even know what the Corvette is going to truly look like in the future. If the Corvette incorporates, I mean, think about it. To my understanding, the Stingray is already putting down 670 horsepower. So technically, the Stingray is faster or more powerful. Probably faster as well. More powerful. The E-Ray's dropping, and it's going to introduce the future as well as alongside what we already have as far as gas-powered engines are concerned. We still haven't seen the ZR1. We still haven't seen the most powerful Chevy Corvette to come. We still haven't seen the most powerful Ford Mustang to come either. They've shown us the GT. They've shown us the Dark Horse. Haven't seen the 350 or the 500 yet. But one can imagine In the past, the 500 was 750 horsepower. 9 times out of 10, Ford's going to take that to a whole new level. So we could be looking at an 800 horsepower Mustang, which would kill any Hellcat we've seen before. So needless to say, as soon as Dodge drops the ball, Chevy and Ford picks it up, takes it to the hoop. So to my last video, which is doing really well at this point, but to my last video, as far as is it time to leave Dodge, this right here might have given you a little more incentive to do so. Because if you ever seen a C8, I remember this one C8, and I lie to you not, this was the type of car where it was like, I need that. It was blacked out. It was lowered, matte black. So it was a matte blacked out C8, lowered, and it had gold rims on it. It had gold gloss rims on it. And I mean, this thing looked like, it looked like something, I just don't know, bro. Like, it looked gorgeous. I mean, the angles, the cuts and serrations, how low it was to the ground. I don't know if the Stingrays are all-wheel drive. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. They may not be. They may be rear-wheel drive or front-wheel drive. Probably not front-wheel. But I don't know if they're all-wheel drive. But, oh, my God. That Corvette looked gorgeous. And then, of course, I had my Scat Pack behind it. And my Scat Pack looked like a damn Tonka truck compared to that Ford. I mean, compared to that Corvette. It looked like a Tonka truck. It looked like something that you could put inside of my Scat Pack. How big my car looked compared to that Chevy. But that Corvette is gorgeous. And I'll be honest with you guys, if any one of you were to DM me right now and say to me, listen, Knockout, I got to keep it real with you. I traded in my Red Eye, I traded in my Hellcat for a C8. I would not be mad at you whatsoever. I'd probably be mad if you went from a Hellcat to a modern day Ford Mustang, not even the new one. I'm just talking about the ones that's already out. But if you were to tell me that you traded in your Scat or your Cat for a C8 Mustang or C8 Corvette, I'm not mad at all, because those cars are beautiful. The serrations, the cuts, like, the thing about those cars is like they're a telltale of the future, a telltale sign of the future. American cars didn't used to look like that back in the day. American cars were always big and blocky and chunky. Like Dodge muscle cars, basically big, chunky, you know, oversized, heavy, gas guzzling. But American cars nowadays are starting to take on more of a European look. That slim, sleek, small, low to the ground, you know, cuts and serrations all over the body. They're taking on that look. And the Chevy Corvette C8 is just that. Like, it's the adaptation of the European look in an American car with an American V8. With an American V8. That's what the future of muscle cars and American supercars should be looking like. They shouldn't look like a damn box with the MacBook Pro under the hood of it. Like, the new Charger is, they're going backwards. They went backwards with the new Charger design, if you ask me. Like, they made it more squared off. They gave it less angular curves. They gave it less rounded appearance. They made it worse on aerodynamics. Like, it's probably even worse than a Challenger is right now. They made it a box on wheels, and they put a MacBook Pro under the hood of it. And here you go. Trade in your Hellcat Red Eyes for this. No, I'm not. Absolutely not. And then you look across the aisle, you look across the grass, and you see a Chevy Corvette C8, a E-Ray sitting like that, sounding like that. You'll still be able to cut the pipes. You'll still be able to put on a brand new exhaust system. Still be able to throw a cold air intake on there. Still be able to hear that cold start. You're tripping. These cars are gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. If I were not a Dodge fanboy, I mean, this would be Knockout LT 360. You know what I'm saying? Like, this would be a Chevy channel for sure. But of course, I'm a Dodge guy. I'm a Hellcat guy, so you already know I'm beholden to the brand, if you will. But I'll be honest with you, by and large, for a lot of you guys out there, I see no reason why you should be sticking with Dodge. When something like this drops, and this is just the beginning, this isn't even the final form, I would say wait about a year. Because I've always been told when it comes to electric automobiles, when it comes to hybrid automobiles, you never want to buy the first generation, just because it's new for everybody. It's new for the consumer and it's new for the manufacturer. when you think about it, the manufacturers got to revamp their whole everything. I mean, they got to revamp their whole process of creating the engine, their process of repairing the engine. They've got to retrain and recertify their mechanics so that they know how to, take care of these parts and stuff like that. After a year, 2 years, 3 years, it's perfected at that point. And then it's, second nature. Just like when a Hellcat dropped, the first generation Hellcats had a lot of issues. And, after that, it was clockwork. At this point, Hellcats are pretty much bulletproof. So maybe not that first generation hybrid V8 Corvette that you want. But as far as what Chevy's got up their sleeve, it's looking good. Now, the price, I'm not even going to front. It's up there. What did they say they wanted? $104,295, starting at $104. So that's not even option to the teeth, Corvette. That's just starting at. And you can get a fully loaded red eye or Hellcat jailbreak for about that, around that, probably a little less than that if you play your cards right. So price definitely comes into play when dealing with this type of car. But this is the type of car, guys, where it's like, if you go out and you drop 6 figures on it, when you look at it, that may be one of those situations where it's like, it makes sense, not for everybody, but simply put, this is what Dodge should have built. Dodge should have put that big V8 Hemi next to a hybrid electric motor or a hybrid motor. That's what should be under the hood of the 2024 Hellcats, Scat Packs, Chargers, and Challengers. But that's not what they're going to give us. They jumped the gun too soon. They're going to lose a lot of consumers. They're going to lose a lot of their fan base. The more that I look at that Charger, the more it just looks like a box on wheels. It's ugly. It's just ugly, man. It's just ugly. And I'm sure some of you guys will freak it and put it in such a way that it's dope. Wrap it up real nice, tint it out, put some nice tires, rims on it. But regardless, it's an ugly Charger. It's an ugly electric, whatever they want to call it. They can call it a muscle car all day long. It is not. It is ugly. It is electric. It is a box. And when you sit that next to this Corvette, it's going to be embarrassing, to be honest with you. So I don't care about the power. I want the experience. I want the V8 experience. This Corvette looks gorgeous. It's going to sound gorgeous. It's going to perform gorgeous. I know a lot of you guys are already looking to jump ship. You know what I'm saying? And I don't blame you one bit. But I just had to bring that to you guys. This is the Charger, the Challenger, the Hellcat, the Scat Pack that Dodge should have built, but they're not going to. See you guys in the next one, man. Peace.